This dog went to extraordinary lengths when he was isolated from his family. Some others were moved to tears by what this dog performed. People will do just about everything in their pursuit of better opportunities. Some individuals who want to better their lives overseas do so legitimately are going to school there, while others break the laws and cross the border into another nation. This is also what the story's female protagonist did. Jennifer and her sister Cla lived and raised in Venezuela together, but the two ladies eventually chose to leave for better opportunities in Mexico. They considered leaving Tony behind, but ultimately decided he had to come along. Previously, Tommy had been astray in Venezuela for a while. Tommy, though, was courageous and strong in the face of such adversity. Jennifer and Karen discovered Tommy, who had blisters all over his foot, while he was in a bad way. They rushed him to the animal hospital, where doctors diagnosed a potentially fatal bacterial illness. Tommy's success surprised both Jennifer and Cla right when we retrieved him. After receiving the attention he needed, it was as if he sensed we were offering him a second shot at life, that he determined to fight for it. Tommy was as energetic and robust as a May Day, and the three of them quickly bonded. Tommy accompanied Jennifer and Cla wherever they went and slept to the middle of their bed every night. Jennifer had been used to Tommy's company in bed and now found herself unable to go to sleep if he weren't there. What compelled them to abandon such a vital aspect of their lives? Cla first worried that taking Tommy on a trip might be inconvenient. I was afraid that maybe they wouldn't be permitted in some places if he was there. Jennifer reassured Cla that everything will be all right if he became ill on the trip. Tommy has never done anything wrong. Jennifer reassured her that he would be okay. They packed everything and left after making last preparations. When we had food on the journey, the ladies recalled in an interview, Tommy was quite patient with us. He savored the experience. Also, even when there was very little, he was picking up on it. Even though he couldn't have any of his usual treats, his enthusiastic tail wagging told us that, as Jennifer put it, he was simply glad that we hadn't abandoned him. The claims of Clarion. He accepted the fact that we would be relocating far from our current location. A nice explorer he was. When they reached the Mexican border, things quickly deteriorated. Jennifer and Cla were stopped by a border patrol official. Tommy sensed danger when he saw the police chatting to the lady, so he began barking at them. While he was chatting with the ladies, Tommy was shooed away by the police, and although he stayed back, he didn't move his attention off of his beloved people. Jennifer added, I was really afraid about Tommy. He seemed confused and agitated. As the situation deteriorated, the police informed the ladies that they would be transporting them to the next border patrol outpost. Jennifer motioned for Tommy to come with her at that moment, but the police just responded, he isn't coming with us. The news really floored Jennifer. The question is, who will look after him? When will he eat? Where exactly will he spend the night? She was close to screaming, but the police didn't seem to care. You really need to have considered all that before inviting him along. It's said that Tommy had realized they were going to take him away from his pack, so he began barking incessantly. His wails were utterly tragic. He seemed to be pleading with the police to alter their minds and allow him join Jennifer and Cla. The border patrol officer resolutely refused to budge. Once the lady had entered the vehicle at the agent's request, they locked her door. Tommy ran up to the police vehicle as quickly as the policeman started it up and began circling it. The owners stated this was the very first time they had ever seen the dog so terrified. Even when the van started to drive away, Tommy continued to pursue it. Both Jennifer and Cla could only scream. We'll be back for you, sweetie. Don't be afraid to put up some forceful effort. The law enforcement authorities assured the ladies that Tommy would never be seen again. He was supposedly going to be picked up by someone more qualified. What about justice? Tommy didn't expect to be thrown away from his family, and animals have rights. Jennifer and Karen were arrested upon their arrival at the Border Patrol headquarters. They were held in jail for some time before being released to see an immigration court. At the same time, the pair was very concerned about Tommy. Possibilities of what may have occurred to him were discussed at length. They had given up hope that their dog would return to them. However, did you happen to notice anything else? Tommy has no intention of abandoning his human companions. This prompted him to start looking for them. Caretaker retraced his steps back into Venezuela with his devoted puppy, and he visited all the stops Jennifer and CLA Orion had made en route to Mexico, hoping to run into them. He went into a few of the homes they went to. There, he was unable to locate them, alas, but he persisted in his search for them. Jennifer and Clarion use a UFO to reach out to a group that works to reunite missing pets with their owners. The group pledged to assist them find their dog after hearing the woman's story. Later, the group shared photos of Tommy throughout their various social media channels. Happily, there was a huge outpouring of support for the post. The article was shared on several people's timelines. Others wrote saying they'd spotted the dog around town. I last saw that same dog a few weeks ago. He seemed troubled and downcast. Please let me know if you do. One person remarked that he kept gazing about as if he were seeking for something or someone. A lovely thing occurred at one of the places where Tommy and his guardians had eaten a few days later. The eatery's proprietor knew Tommy at once and welcomed him inside, feeding him liberally. After he was alone with the dog, he contacted the team to let them know where he was. Now that I have Tommy, he will be secure with me. You are welcome to take him up whenever convenient for you. He has a really cute pooch. The group contacted Jennifer and CLA and arranged to meet the dog at the restaurant the next day. Our trip in the car took a whole hour. Still, Jennifer felt like she was waiting for an age. To tell Tommy how much she'd missed him, she really cannot wait to see him again. She, too, couldn't wait to finally embrace him and kiss him. The vehicle arrived at the restaurant, and we all got out. Time has come for me to finally meet Tommy. Jennifer and Clarence got out of the vehicle, and then it happened. The dog inside the restaurant could hear them yelling "Tommy, Tommy" on their screens and came running to greet them, animated with eagerness. In a flash, Tommy exited the eatery and sprinted straight towards his loving owners as they walked in. There was a lot of emotion in the room, and both Jennifer and CLA started crying. After being reconnected with his human moms, Tommy was also joyful enough to wag his tail. What a lovely time that was. Excited beyond control, Tommy went bananas. He was rushing and barking wildly throughout the place. He got back up after tumbling and kept on sprinting. Incredibly pleased with him. I'm happy he kept looking for us and didn't give up. His allegiance will never be taken for granted by us. Tommy stayed at Jennifer's side the whole day, according to Jennifer. He definitely missed her a lot, and the dog showed it. Of course, the feelings were returned. Jennifer made up by catching up on missing cuddle time and lavishing her dog buddy with slobbery licks. Incredibly pleased with you. I think the world of you, since you are the greatest dog ever. As Jennifer embraced Tommy, she shared this news with him. After hearing Tommy's tale, several people were reduced to tears. This touching story about family and devotion had me in floods of tears. I appreciate the social media volunteers. My heart skips a beat of joy that this lovely kid is back with his family. Everything we know about friendship, loyalty, and real love we learned from him. Please accept my gratitude. I must share a confession that I read in a different post. I felt a knot in my throat and started crying when watching this video. Dogs are the most faithful of any animal kind. I was moved by the puppy's sincere want to return to his loved ones. I'm relieved that he was ultimately successful. I pray they will treat him well and recognize his worth. Both Jennifer and Clarence were eventually deported after appearing in court. Tommy took that year back to his house. The ladies said in an interview that they were open to the idea of migrating, but only if they could do it legally. They were overjoyed that Tommy had tracked them down. Personally, canines fascinate me more than any other animal. They love without condition. I'm glad you read this far, and I wish you a good night. In order to see the rest, please subscribe. Have a good day and good night.